Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackenberger, and our co-host, Jon Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
We are back with another incredible episode of Wise Kracks. I already know this. I predict the future, Crack, because I know it's going to be an incredible episode.
Oh,
what do you think of that?
Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, we have a great show today. We've got poker royalty in the house today. Well, not in the house, but on the show.
Yeah.
We've got Tiffany Michelle, who's just an incredible host, actress. She does it all, and we will talk to her a little later in the show. But before we get to her, you and I had a very fun week last week. After the show, we went and we hung out with the man, with my dad, with Tony O.
Yeah, we had a 3.5 hour dinner.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, over at Tuscany Grill,
It goes
one of our
quick.
favorite local joints there. Mom and pop restaurant who I'd rather patronize and give them my money than one of these big, ridiculous restaurants in the casino.
The chicken parm.
And it's just as good as any restaurant, Italian.
I mean,
yeah.
I want to say it's the best chicken parm in town.
Yeah, their mom and pop
parm
with that old fashioned.
Yep. The sauce.
Yeah.
It's all about the sauce.
And Tony liked it and got to see a lot of fans were in there taking pictures with him and stuff. And yeah, his stories were unbelievable.
Right?
There was we did a 2 hour and 15-minute podcast with him, but yet I learned 4 new stories the other night.
Me too.
The one being with it's unfortunate, but he was with Frank Sinatra at dinner.
Yeah.
When Frank's mom, who he sent for in his private plane, crashed in Palm Springs.
Terrible.
And she died, and he was with her when he got that notice that the plane was crashed. And there's wow. And it was a great story. It was a sad story, but a great story.
Yeah.
Told us stories about being with Bobby Darin. Told us stories about being with Cher.
Yeah.
And when Cher divorced Sonny, and her first show to go out was one of your dad's charity events, and she was afraid to go on stage.
Right.
And I said, well, she's made $300 million since then, since you pushed her out there. Make sure you get, wet your beak a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
And there was even more than that. There was a interaction with. He's sitting with John Wayne, and on his other side was it was just unbelievable. The
Bob Hope story. I mean, there's so many.
Bob Hope was also.
We have to have him on again.
Bob Hope was also there that night with him.
Yeah.
But oh my guy, how can I not think? James Cagney.
Oh right.
He's with James Cagney, and oh my God, it's just the stories are.
Kirk Douglas story. We just have to have him. We have to have him on
Incredible
again.
stories.
Right?
People don't. You don't realize it. Well, everyone's gone. We just mentioned.
Yeah.
I think everyone except for Cher is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all gone. So it's just.
He said you sent him a really nice text. Actually, yep. And you said to what you just made me think of it. You said that you called him one of the last of the Mohicans.
Oh, the last of the Mohicans.
It's
I did
true.
Tell him that. Yeah. No,
it's true.
Yeah, and by the way, if I show you all the Tony Orlando texts, you probably wouldn't believe him. I mean, and is that your uncle that I met at dinner?
Yeah, he's 2 years older than me, but yes, my uncle David. Yeah, David.
I mean, look, he was so happy he got that picture off the wall.
Yeah,
from it's Bob Hope.
Yeah,
John Wayne.
And my dad wants on that wall. He wants on that wall.
He will get on. Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. What a great picture! But I mean, it's just all different. Look.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he sent me all different things.
Look at you two.
The handshake. How about that? Sammy and Jerry's handshake.
Yeah.
On stage at Bally's in Las Vegas. I thought that was pretty cool. Just in general, sending pictures of him and Tony Bennett. Of course, him and Frank Sinatra. Just some really cool, good old. I live for those kind of stories.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's my life.
I
should have been born 20 years earlier.
Are you here first weekend of April?
Should be. Oh yeah,
that's his birthday weekend.
Oh no,
we should have him on that Wednesday before the weekend show. We should have him on.
That was one of our really podcasts that really got some traction because a lot of his fans didn't even know this stuff about him. Yeah, so they loved it. So
I almost feel like we should just wear microphones at dinner, and I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, that would have been great the other night,
right? And like, if we don't want to air it, we don't have to air it. But like, it would be just the audio of that.
Yeah, that
would be nice to have. Anyway, speaking of music royalty, you went and saw some concerts last night.
Metallica on Friday night.
Yeah,
and the missus wanted to go to that, and I knew a couple songs, but it's not my kind of music really. A little too hard for me. Greta Van Fleet opened for them. They're a popular kind of cultish group and
very Led Zeppelin-y.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, even Robert Plant said that.
Yeah,
they were good, and Metallica was good too, and that's they have a giant fan base. Matter of fact, the wait for a T-shirt, and the reason why because we wanted to get those concert shirts with Las Vegas on it. They're individualized to the show. Was 2 hours and 10 minutes
to get a T-shirt. Wait, you actually did that?
No.
Oh,
but it was 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Don't you have a guy that can get it? No?
I did.
Okay. See, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Crack.
It cost me a little extra, but I did.
All right.
But I asked people how long they've been online. 2 hours and 10 minutes. So
just to buy
I
merch.
knew it was, though. It's a big thing for Metallica is that merch truck.
Really?
There's 2 of them there.
They would do millions.
Oh, they do a ton of money. Tons.
It's nice to see a band like that, though, that's been together so long.
Very,
so
very
years.
fan-friendly, too. They really know where they come from. They respect their fans. And the lead singer, he's had some problems in his life, drug and alcohol problems.
That's James Hetfield, right?
Yep. Yeah. And the drummer is, I know his first name is Lars.
Lars Jackson, maybe? Or Lars. Yeah,
is it
for sure.
Ulrich?
Oh, yep, it is.
Okay.
I think you're right. Yep. I said Jackson, and it's Ulrich.
Yeah, no, it's a cousin. But anyway, so they're really fan friendly, and just you could see how they interacted with the fans at the end of the show. They were just kept on hanging out, throwing picks out, throwing set list out. It was just it was cool. But the next night was the show I really liked. Billy Joel sang
classic
27 songs over 2.5 hours. I mean, what a band he has. He has the same sax player for 35 years. I mean.
Did he do that song "Moving Out"? I like that song. I like that.
He opened with it.
Really?
Opened with "Moving Out." Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I like Billy Joel.
No, but his classic songs that I absolutely love. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Of course, The Piano Man. He did, which I was surprised, he did New York State of Mind. He did some really good songs. There's a song that it's a little bit, well, people do know it. There's a song that he does that named Vienna. I love. He sung that song. So he really did some, and he rocked, man. He lost like 40 pounds. He was rocking at the end. He didn't even play piano. He was, for the last 5 songs, the encore, he just came out and went up and down the stage with a mic like a rocker. He was, the guy's going to be 73 years old.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I love that. I'm so glad, because I've been to so many concerts in my life, never seen Billy, so I'm really happy I did. I may see him again at the Garden. He's at the Garden once a month for the whole year. He has a night.
Really?
Yeah, Madison Square Garden once a month. Yep.
Wow.
Always sells out.
Always. He's always done that?
He's been doing that for 4 years.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Now, during COVID, it stopped for about a year.
Okay.
But like 4 years, sold out every show.
That's amazing.
Yeah. No, he's great. He's great. I really enjoyed that. That was something special to me, because those songs mean a lot to me. And, I always think about, like, even my mom. My mom loved Billy Joel, so we grew up with Billy Joel in the house. So good stuff.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, let's talk a little sports. What you got? Anything? Any headlines stick out? There's one that sticks out for me.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Baseball.
Oh, that was terrible.
What are we doing?
That was
what
terrible.
Are they
Someone
doing?
texted me today
We're not
on the way
doing anything.
And said, I bet Toronto to win the pennant, but does that affect it? And I said, well, go to the rules of the place you bet it at. Every place has different rules.
A future bet. Okay, right.
Future bet. And sure enough, it doesn't count. We got great odds compared to the current odds.
It doesn't count because it has to be 162 games.
Got to play 162.
Really?
Yep. That's just some certain places have them. You have to. You know what though? For that type of bet, I don't know really why they'd even cancel that type of bet. Now, for an over-under, of course, season wins, of course, you do that because they've never played. But I'm a little more surprised at a future where they
if they win it, they win it.
Yeah, they win it, they win it.
So, like when the Dodgers won a couple years ago, that was a shortened season because of COVID.
Right.
So then that probably same thing.
Same thing happened. You had to check with your sports book that booked the bets.
Wow. Yeah, so. Hey, there was the Kentucky Derby horse. I don't know if you saw that. The last winner of the Kentucky Derby, and of course I forgot the name. They just confirmed that he tested positive for, I guess, whatever, horse performance-enhancing drugs.
The Derby's in 2 months. So you're telling me 10 months ago now? They finally did it now?
Yes. So they took him down, and the second-place horse has now been declared the winner.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I hate that I forgot the names of these horses.
Yeah,
but,
we can Google it though. I didn't even.
WSN,
how can probably. How can I not even know that? I mean,
yeah. So my question to you is: it's just over, right? Those tickets are cashed. And it is what it is.
Oh yeah, they're done that day. Mandolin, maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
And so, is there no recourse for that? Like, even a losing ticket couldn't ask for money back, and wouldn't you have a case to stand on? No.
Or
it just doesn't work that way.
It might be Medina Spirit that was disqualified. I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, I think Mandolin is the one that got upgraded to first now.
Oh, okay. That's what got updated.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your question?
So there's those tickets obviously cashed and were settled. It's over.
Oh, that was over that day.
It is what it is.
Oh yeah. When it says official on the board, they pay everyone.
How frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob Baffert.
Right, Bob Baffert. Yeah, who's kind of known.
Yeah.
There's always been grumblings. I don't know. I'm sure you've heard them. You've been around.
I know who he is.
Right. That he dopes horses has always been a thing. I remember when I was 16, I used to hear that.
It's the reason why I don't bet horses, man. If you're not on the inside, you're on the outside. You're playing a 25% game. Sports betting is 4.5%. Much less of a hold actually if you have multiple outs and reduced juice and information and stuff. The horse betting, the racetrack takes so much. It's unbeatable unless you're, doping horses on the inside.
Right. Yeah. Or just getting lucky.
No, the luck factor over time is
a loser.
It's a loser. So you can't go by luck factor when they're taking 25% out, especially.
Right.
Unless you hit a big pick six and never play again.
Right. But who does that?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually that's the magic pill for people. As soon as they win, they get hooked.
Yeah.
And like even myself, I went to the racetrack when my dad, they thought they were doing, my dad and my mother's brothers and stepbrothers, and they're all Italians, and they go to the track all the time, and it's fun. And they're yelling and screaming. They don't even know the house edge.
Right.
But when 11-year-old Bill Krackenberger hits a $400 exacta, I say, wow. $400.
Did you do that at 11 years? At 11 years old,
yes.
I love it.
So all of a sudden now, this is the thing,
right?
And then next thing you know, you're hawking your jewelry to finance your gambling habits,
right?
So that happens in horse racing.
Do you think horse racing will ever go away? Because it's less and less people there, right? But
it's less and less people. But
there's enough people betting. To
the big
it.
races, the big kind of Kentucky Derby, Triple Crown, and that kind of they're. But the horse players are dying off.
Right.
The horse players are dying off.
I guess
they're actually going to go more towards
thing.
sports betting. They'll make the crossover and they'll bet sports and.
Because you don't see too many. That's an interesting point. You don't see too many, other than like opening day of Del Mar or the Kentucky Derby. You see young, sexy people.
Yep.
Other than that, it's just degenerate highway at the track, right?
It's so easy. It's almost a form of closet gambling too. And but then again, online casinos are a form of closet gambling, and maybe even sports betting can be for these new people in new jurisdictions. And I read a great article from Connecticut. Connecticut just started sports betting a few months back, less than 6 months ago. And already their calls to the 1-800-GAMBLER and hotlines are out of control. So if you can imagine for a market like Connecticut that just started in this, I can imagine what's going on in Jersey. That's why I always try to promote responsible, safe gambling. And don't tell kids it's as easy as you think it is, especially these online casinos, which... they're the reason why a lot of these a lot of females are geared towards in the daytime, and they're being I don't want to say exploited, but I mean we're our own person and we make the choices we make. But that's not to say I won't play in one of them. I'll play. You give me a bonus, give me a big bonus or something to play. I'm going to play. I'm going to take advantage of that bonus, run it through, and not play again until the next bonus.
Yeah.
And win or loss.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest thing to do too, is the loss.
Right.
Because even though they're giving you $250 extra to play, it doesn't matter when that rollover requirement, you have to bet through the money, is done. Bill Krackenberger's done. I'm stopping playing.
Yeah.
Whereas other people can't stop if they're down money. And even I understand, even I get the urge to down still $100. You just got bet 100 and get out of here. I don't do that, but I understand the reason why people do that. It's real easy to do, especially if no one's around you, no one sees it.
Right.
Not like a casino where you have interaction with a dealer, players, pit boss, everyone seeing you go broke. And anyway.
Yeah. Football news, NFL free agency, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know where he's going to end up.
Who knows? It's just, it's almost I've had enough.
Yeah. I know I
actually liked him at one time. Not that I dislike him, but I actually like him. I like some of his views, believe it or not. Not all of them, of course, but he speaks his mind. But now you're hearing he wants to be the highest paid player, and I don't know. He did win the MVP, so
yeah.
So I understand that, but do you get the? I don't know. Maybe age shouldn't factor out that kind of a salary and stuff. But the guy's worth a couple $100 million already, so you wouldn't think he'd say that. But I don't think he's going nowhere, though. I think the Packers.
No?
Yeah, I think the Packers.
I don't know. Maybe here.
They had that number one draft choice that they had. Jordan Love, I think it is. That's their number one draft choice they have as a quarterback. And why would they have that guy as a quarterback? Why would they pick him as a number one draft pick if they weren't eventually going to have him as a starter? So, actually, I can even be wrong here. Hold on. See, just yesterday, it looks like, not that it happened, but Packers are urged to trade Jordan Love before the NFL draft. So maybe you just see these stories and you say, maybe they looking to get rid of Jordan Love already. So who knows? So.
I would think maybe he'd be a fit here in Vegas. I feel like Vegas needs.
You're talking about Rodgers.
Rodgers, yeah.
Well, of course.
Needs a big name, right?
Yeah.
Got to bring in a big name here.
I actually would like to see that. I would like to see that. So we'll see what happens.
Big UFC card this weekend. I will be attending the fight. I'm super pumped for it. Colby Covington, who's kind of a loudmouth, plays the bad guy role. Actually, they both kind of play the bad guy. He's playing fighting Jorge Masvidal.
Let's see if I can get odds on that. And that's from here.
It's pretty lopsided, I think. I think Masvidal is probably over plus 200, I believe.
Plus 255.
Yeah.
Plus 260 at one place.
He can absolutely knock you out. I mean, he's got the hands to do it. Colby is very high pressure. He's got relentless pace. He has a really fast pace and cardio for days. As much as I'd like to see Masvidal win, I think Covington probably gets this one done.
Wow. Okay,
that's an official prediction.
Undercard was canceled, it looks like.
Yeah.
Rafael Dos Anjos.
Yeah.
Fiziev.
Yes, but now they've replaced it. Dos Anjos is going to fight Moicano, who's flying in from Brazil, literally landing today.
Oh, okay.
From Brazil, last minute, and they're fighting at a catch weight, I want to say at 160.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, some big fights all over, though. Looks like the San Diego has a big fight this weekend. It says Cage Warriors, whatever that is.
Yeah, it's another smaller promotion. But
there's one in Orlando, PFL Challenge Series.
Yep. Pro Fight League. Yep.
Some different things here.
My buddy Ray Seffo is the president of PFL.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's T-Mobile, and that's T-Mobile Arena, right? Yeah. This weekend you're going?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you see this huge bet, this huge parlay? There's been a lot of them lately. It was a guy won $20,000 off a $3.30.
I didn't see this.
13-leg parlay on FanDuel. I mean, should I just be betting $4 10-teamers and just hope to get lucky?
I think you'll have a better ROI than your current life.
Let me ask you something. Why the $3.30? I see these a lot, these kind of bets. The $3.30.
It's probably all you got left in the account, so why not take the 30 cents and a 30-cent parlay on 10 or 11 teamer and make maybe a couple grand. I mean, literally,
off of 30 cents, the 30 cents part.
It would make $1,000 or something. No,
wow.
13 leg, I actually don't know, but I mean, it would. So why leave 30 cents in your account?
Right.
So that's probably why. But
interesting.
Yeah, good for that person. And I was sent a ticket from someone about 2 weeks ago that bet an 11-teamer. And he won $600,000. And
wow,
his story was he literally he just got up from a poker table where I think he was upset at the poker table, so he got up from the poker table and he made he had $500 left.
Come on!
And he said, "You know what? I'm betting it all on a parlay." And he said he just started naming teams in first halves, and he hit that for $600,000.
Oh my God!
Yeah, is that amazing? So, but. I kind of don't like when all the sites use that as a dangle and carrot. Look how easy it is to do. This guy won with $4. He won. I'm looking $3. Won 20,000. You know, it's those stories are far and few in between.
It's the equivalent of when the lotto is up to a record number, right? And they flash it, and then people that never buy lottery tickets,
I buy them. Yeah, I buy them when they got that high.
When it gets up that high, right?
Yeah.
I do it too.
Yeah, it's got to get to 500 million.
Why is that?
Yeah, 490 million is not going to change my life.
Right.
500, that's good.
Why is that?
I don't know. Just to, you hear it's positive EV, but that's not the reason why.
It's the Borgata effect.
It's sort of. It's $10 too.
Right.
$10 is not going to change my life or no. Yeah. Just I don't put no more than that on it.
Yeah.
There's always this stuff in town here because you have to go to the border in Prim to get the tickets. So you wait 2 hours online. So a little side business people have in this town is they go there and they charge you double for the tickets. So they get all quick pick, instant games, and they sell them to people for, it's $2 ticket, it's $4. But here, you don't have to wait in line. So I'm not doing that. No matter what, I'm not doing that.
No.
I'm not being price gouged.
Right.
But I'm price gouged enough in life. We talked about gas and
oh my God,
where's it at?
L.A. in Beverly Hills.
In Beverly Hills,
on the corner of Burton Way and Crescent. There's a 76 station. It's been there for years. Now they do offer full serve, but full serve it's like $7.10, and but just regular pump it yourself, it's over $6.
Yeah, no, I seen $6.15 here, but full serve $7.
Yeah,
it's really nice. $7 a gallon.
Full serve. Do you remember full serve gas stations?
Well, of course, because I grew up in Jersey.
Right.
There's still full serve till this day. You can't put your own gas. It's illegal.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, you can't put gas in your car in New Jersey. It's one of a couple states. Only a couple states that.
It's kind of nice to just pull up.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's literally. I'm not gonna say half, but it's like 35% less for gas.
Wow.
I was just there.
And they pump it.
Yeah, I was just there. It's less than, it was like $2.60 for gas.
Sometimes you go in and you say, hey, could you check the oil, check the tires, right?
No one, that's the old days. I haven't seen that done. There's not a guy that's checking oils and checking tires.
Yeah, I remember that when I was little.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Well, now's a good time to remind everyone that March Madness is right around the corner, and they need to head on over to crackwins.com. I know I sound like a broken record. I say it every week, but it's the truth. You can download the app on Apple, on Google Play, or just go to the website. Get in the winner's circle with the Crack Man. This is March Madness. This is your time to shine.
Yeah, and look forward to it. This next month should be a good month. We have conference tournaments coming up here. They just started already. I said the smaller ones, the mid-majors and stuff. We're gonna have some really good information here. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait till March Madness. The first and second week always special. So make sure you download the CrackWins app and go to crackwins.com.
And while you're at it, head on over to WSN.com. They've got all kinds of bonuses. We also mention this every week. Are you guys listening? Are you taking us up? Are you taking Bill's giving you the free money? He's telling you how to get free money. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, they have bonuses even for New York State, which is the new big state, which let me just tell you, you wouldn't think they need it. They're the #1 state. New York is the sports betting capital of the United States. Imagine. They were always the sports betting capital, probably just never knew it. It was the underground capital. Yeah. Now that's a legalized capital. So yeah, Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel, New York. Just Caesars has crazy bonuses. They all do. $1,500 match for Caesars. I'm on WSN right now. Go to WSN.com. Right on the left here, click on bonuses, and there's each state, state by state bonuses up there. I'll just use New Jersey because I'm going to New Jersey, and sure enough, same thing. Caesars has a $1,500 free bet for Jersey. FanDuel $1,000 risk free. DraftKings $1,000 actual deposit bonus, which I like. You don't have to win the bet; they're already giving you $1,000 to sign up, and you do have to roll it over. They're not just giving you money and you cash it out. So. There's so many different $1,000 ones in there. MGM, PointsBet, Tipico, which is, I think they're only in New Jersey right now. Tipico has a $750 free risk-free there. Also, that's financed at you can put the. And by the way, all these apps I'm talking about, you can put the money right in the casinos. Literally, it's so crazy. Caesars has 5 or 6 different places you can put money in, not just for Caesars. They're the place you deposit and withdrawal, and the same thing with Golden Nugget has like Golden Nugget. You finance your let me see what app it is. It's FanDuel, FanDuel app at the Golden Nugget. It's you don't have to be at the Meadowlands because you can go to the Meadowlands. That's their home base there.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, you can go to Meadowlands. Monmouth Park has a couple different licenses. Meadowlands has a few different licenses. PointsBet's there. Really fun stuff, though. But sign up through WSN.com. That's the real way you do it. You can stay home, don't have to do anything, right from the safety and the power of your computer and the palm of your hand. WSN.com for all that. Also, WSN has the greatest articles, which again, the betting news is second to none. I find more things out on WSN every day. I mean, here we have, just in the last week, you have 4 or 5 articles written just about the betting news, things that are just happening in that arena there. Of course, you can get all of our podcasts on there too, right at the top, all the podcasts we have done.
Do you ever go back and do you watch any of the shows? Do you actually watch our shows?
Of course.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I
Some people don't like watching themselves. I don't mind it.
No. I watch the shows. I want to see how they come out.
Yeah.
Anyway, also latest prediction, odds, news, articles on there. You really everything for all your sports betting needs there, right in one site, WSN.com. Well
said, Bill Krackomberger. That is a winning trifecta: Crack Wins and WSN.
All right, and Wise Kracks. That would be a trifecta.
Ah,
yeah,
I like it. I like talking about horse racing. It's that time, Bill. I'm actually going to read this because it's full of stuff I didn't even know about this guest, and I've known her for quite a long time. Our guest today is a world-class professional poker player. I knew that part. She's a television host and actress. She's broken records at the 2008 WSOP, finishing in the top 20. She has been a soap opera star. She was on The Amazing Race with former Wise Kracks guest Maria Ho.
Oh, cool.
How about that? And they came in 6th place. She's also been on the Food Network show, The Worst Cooks in America. What can't this woman do? I speak of the great and beautiful Tiffany Michelle. Hello, Tiffany.
Ooh, can I just say how great it is? I need to do more not shows, just show intros so I can hear someone talk about how great I am in 5 seconds.
There you go.
What a day it is.
There you go. I like the worst cook. Tell me about the worst cook part.
Yeah, John, that's the one thing in my resume I try not to talk about because it doesn't sound sexy. And when I do say that I've been on a Food Network cooking show, I just say I've been on a Food Network cooking show. We'll leave it at that because I don't like to associate myself with the word worst. But yeah, actually, really, really cool experience. It was basically Bobby Flay and Ann Burrell, for anyone who's foodie fans, each had a team of 8 of arguably the worst cooks in America. And it was a competition between all of the individual bad chefs, but it was also, the idea was for Bobby and Ann to be able to train their mentees the best to ultimately cook a 3-course dinner for all these big restaurateurs. And listen, I wasn't the worst cook in America, but my mom is a chef. So I was just the non-cook of America. I never had to cook a meal a day in my life because my mother always cooked. And then I travel around the world playing poker. So I eat off of room service and great restaurants. So going into that show, the only thing I actually had ever made in a kitchen, I want to say, is scrambled eggs and French toast. So I got an amazing education and I was not the worst. I finished in Bobby Flay's top 3. So I was the best of the worst.
Love it. I was telling everybody before you came on that I've known you for maybe 15 years now or somewhere in that range, and I haven't seen you in a while. But what I don't even know, how did you even get into poker to begin with? How did that all start?
No, you're part of my origin story.
I know that part, but I don't know. But you were already playing then, right?
Right. Oh, yes. I wish this show was X-rated enough for me to share some Jon Orlando memories that you probably don't even remember.
Whoa.
We could talk about it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
How conservative I was when I first got into the business. You were the craziest, coolest, edgiest, Vegas guy I'd ever met in my entire life. Now, not so much. But back then for little baby Tiffany, I was whoa, this guy is extra.
Who knew?
So crazy. And now look at you. You're just, a humble man hosting a podcast.
Old and boring. Yeah.
I got into poker. My grandfather, who was a Navy man, taught me how to play when I was younger. I'm the youngest of 4. I have brothers. And so we grew up playing a ton of games, super competitive family. And poker was the thing that I realized very quickly. I can actually beat my brothers playing. I don't have to run as fast as them. I don't have to lift this thing. If we play Red Rover, I'm never going to get picked because my body type is not going to help their team succeed. So I kind of targeted games that I was like, oh, wait, I can beat you at this thing because I can use my brain better than you can. So I loved playing from the time I was young just because I realized it equaled the playing field. And then I watched it on TV a lot, like with just little games with friends anytime I could. I just, I was hungry for poker because I just loved the adrenaline rush, the tangible sense of winning, the fact that you could make the wrong move, i.e. make a bluff and have the worst hand and still get paid off. Like the coloring board with poker is so big and broad that really spoke to me. I learned through family, and then I started playing, like my first delve into it was playing a $40 cash game at Joel Moore's house. Joel is, he was in Dodgeball. He was in Grandma's Boy. He's like the tall, lanky scientist in all the Avatar movies. So I started playing with him, like Zach Levi, who is the lead in Shazam, Amber Tamblyn. Like there was just a bunch of actors at the time. I mean, they were working, so it's like I knew who they were, but they're not as mega famous as they are now. And we'd literally play a weekly $40 buy-in game. And I remember I got invited to the game because I was at a party with these guys, and they mentioned poker night. And I was like, I want to play. And they're like, oh, well, girls don't play this game. And I was like, yeah, but I want to play. And so they kind of just like made an exception, I guess. And then I was like, cool. And I actually knew how to play. And I was also good to look at. So I think they just gave me an exception. And on a weekly basis, I just started, my 40 became 80, and then it became 200, and then it became 400, and then I'd cash out for 800. And pretty consistently, I was like the winner in that game. I was like, oh, poker's great. This is fun. And I started paying my bills playing poker with cash games, and then just, then jumped to playing some at the bike. And then that's how I met Tara Rice, who was one of Jon, your Bombshell Poker girls. So back when Bombshell Poker, for anyone who doesn't know, it was a poker playing website back when we had those things in the US. And their shtick was like hot, attractive, modelly, Playboy type women that like, those were the avatars of the women that you could play online poker with. And so she brought me in, was like, hey, meet Jon Orlando and these guys that do Bombshell Poker. Maybe you could play online. Maybe you could do some of our live events. And then from there, you guys set me up with an audition for Bluff Radio in 2006 when, bad idea alert, Bluff Radio was like, hey, let's air on Sirius Satellite Radio all of the World Series on the radio, live coverage. It didn't work. I think it was the only year that they did it because nobody really wants to listen to all of poker on the radio. But I went in for an audition for being just like a on the ground, on air reporter. Didn't get the job because my boobs weren't big enough and I wasn't hot enough and tall enough. And then one of the girls dropped out that summer at the World Series. And I got called in. You guys are like, Tiff, go to Vegas for 2 days. We need someone to fill in. And literally after my first day, just walking the floor, I'm like, let me get an interview with Phil Hellmuth. Let me talk to Phil Ivey. Let me talk about how this hand just went down. I think compared to some of the other women who were doing that kind of media work, like I actually played and knew what to talk about. And at the end of my shift that day, the guy that was running Bluff Radio came up and said, what are you doing the rest of the summer? We want to send the other two girls home and have you here with us the rest of the time. And that was literally the first time I ever stepped foot into any kind of professional poker tournament.
Wow.
What a story.
What a story, right?
Wow, 2006. Where'd you start when you were 12? Jesus.
Like ID. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
and honestly, she looks the same.
Jesus, that's great.
Yeah.
So we've had some really versatile guests on this show, and I think you definitely win, hands down. Look at the accomplishments that you've had. I don't know if we've had any guests that were soap star. Check.
Yeah.
You're. I don't want to say. Well, it sounds like that. You're on a big cooking network. I don't care what the name of the show was. I don't care what it was. You're on a giant cooking network. Great, world class poker player.
Yeah,
check. So you've done a reality show star, musician. Now that's what I want. I love music. This one thing about living in Vegas. It's unbelievable. We get to see. I mean, I've seen such crazy things. I seen Metallica, and then the next night I seen Billy Joel Friday and Saturday. So I mean, there's so many different things here in town. We have great opportunity. Tell us about your love for music. Like, what is your like wheelhouse, and what do you think about the current music? You like old stuff, new stuff? What do you like?
Sure. I was actually just going to be like, I could actually take my camera here and pop open my piano.
Wow.
I know we're dark here, but I'm literally guitar in the corner.
Well, I thought you were going to play something.
Oh, cool. Guitar in the corner. That's
I mean,
cool.
if I could and if the lighting was appropriately set up, I would do that for you, but I'm just showing you that.
You're a musician yourself. Wow. Really cool.
Piano is I started playing piano when I was 6 years old, like little Christian homeschool piano prodigy type person. My parents put me in lessons ASAP. That was just kind of part of my mandatory educational curriculum. And so I've played piano my whole life. And then from there, I picked up guitar because I realized like that's so much cooler. Like guitar is how you get the chicks, right? Like at parties, you bust out the guitar. Not as good of a guitar player, but the music from piano, like obviously chord type stuff applied over to guitar. And then I would do, it's kind of so embarrassing now because I don't do it a lot anymore, but I would actually do like gigs. I don't know how I had the bravado to do this. Well, actually, I do know how I had the bravado. It's the same kind of like bravado I have playing poker. But I would actually do gigs at like restaurants and lounges in LA, but I don't think I was very good. I just walked in and was like, hey, you need to hire me to like play my songs in your restaurant. So I would do some live gigs and I would sing and songwrite. Objectively, like, am I American Idol like talent? Absolutely not. Can I carry a tune? And when it's something that I've written, does it sound like kind of singer-songwritery cool? Sure. But that's like what I play. Obviously, poker's taken a lot of my time and attention away from music, but I still got the instruments around, try to jam when I can. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I fancy myself a singer-songwriter musician.
Nice. So you like someone like Billy Joel then, if you're a piano person, right?
Here's my requirements. It has to sound like music. So I might offend you here, but like I start getting nervous when we don't jump into rock and roll, because the minute you start doing like electric guitar riffs and it sounds like this.
Sure. Yep.
I'm like, I can't hear the music anymore. I need some words and I need some melody. So if it starts to sound ratchet, then that stresses me out.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate like a piano player, a songwriter, a melody, like a well thought out hook. Yes, give me all those things.
Cool.
Wow. I'm wondering, if I remember this correctly, didn't you take a break from poker for a little while? And if I'm right, why did you take a break and then why did you come back?
I don't think I ever like intentionally took a break from poker. I think what your bankroll looks like depends on how into poker you are or not, right? Definitely when was Black Friday? 2011? I had an endorsement deal, right? Like after World Series, endorsement deals, was getting paid to play. And I think in 2011, when online poker in the US went away, a lot of that like secondary income that I was getting in order to like be able to play, and it was funding my playing and my travel, went away when those endorsement deals went away. And so I for sure did not money manage well up until then. You know, if you're just getting paid like, here, we'll pay you an hourly to play online on our site and we'll give you a rake back and we'll give you $100,000 a year in tournament buy-ins. Like when that money is coming in, you're not really like budgeting and saving. I mean, especially if you go through like a losing streak. So when that well ran dry, it's not like I had a good savings or bankroll of like, okay, well, I'll just play on this money. And I also don't think poker was like always the big goal and passion. Like at that point, I broke records back in 2008. It's not like I had the drive like some poker players do these days to, I want to keep playing. I want to win a bracelet. I want to final table a WPT event. Like my introduction into poker was breaking the record for the largest field a female had ever beaten. So it's like I came in and achieved. So I think a lot of the thing that makes someone continue to drive in poker, aside from money making, was sort of dead for me. I was like, well, I did that. So if I keep playing, it's just going to be for fun and for money. So no, I didn't really. So then I guess, when that dried up, I stopped traveling. I just couldn't really afford to upkeep like the lifestyle and the level I'd been playing at. And pretty quickly, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but like essentially for 3 years, I just started becoming Maria Ho's assistant. We would sort of travel together anyway, and we were best friends. And her career at that point was like starting to really take off and boom. And she needed help, managing things and travel arrangements and media requests. And so because I knew the world and I wanted to be a secretary when I was little, like that was my childhood dream of what I literally wanted to do with my life. Thank God I, wised up, but I got to live my dream of being a secretary. And I basically traveled with Maria for 3 years, as her friend, because she was like, well, I don't want to go to these things alone, so come with me anyway. But then she was like, well, let me pay you for, the time that you do stuff. So yeah, I actually I don't talk about this a lot, but the older you get, the more honest you get. And there was for sure one World Series where I'm at the World Series and I'm around. So everyone probably thought I was playing, but I was basically just being Maria's lunch bitch. I'd be like, you want to jump into juice now, Maria? What table you at? Let me go get you that hamburger, Maria. I bought all the groceries. I bought all the Fiji and coconut waters you want for the fridge, Maria. So it was a way that I got to kind of stay involved in the scene, but yes, I was not playing. And then, so I think that's the answer to your question is for several years, I was around it, but not grinding it. Yeah.
Tiffany, you're a breath of fresh air.
Right? I told you.
Being so transparent.
I told you.
About that.
Yeah.
Is just unbelievable. Tiffany, I know you don't know me. I'm a sports bettor. I make my living sports betting. I did a show on Showtime. Follow me around. The cameras follow me around Vegas. I'm just a kind of an open book. So to hear bankroll management and someone admit so openly and freely how hard it is to make a living in poker is just such a refreshing. Because see, in the world of Twitter, I'm on Twitter every day, so everyone wins. Everyone talks positive. Everyone's good. Most people are hiding under fake names, by the way, in the sports betting world and just in Twitter in general. So it's such a, like I said, a breath of fresh air to hear someone say about your struggles and about, I'm coming off literally, John, you're going to hear this later on, but this is one of my first losing months in a long time, February. I lost 6 figures in February, but bankroll management is all what it means. Is so.
But that right there, what you just said, to your point, no sports bettor, none of the pros will admit that they had lost 6 figures in a month.
I'll still pay tax. I'm still going to pay.
You've probably seen stuff like that, Tiff, where guys will say, I'm 122-4 this year in the baseball season. It's just no, you're not. Come on.
But I just like I'm in my world, I think there's not a lot of people transparent. So in the sports betting world, even though like I said, I'm going to still pay tax and win a healthy 6 figures for the year. It's so refreshing to hear someone in poker say that, because it's so hard to overcome, so many hurdles to overcome. Sometimes when you have that money coming in, that sponsor money, and that's a ridiculous amount of money if they're putting 100,000 in tournaments in, you somehow in your mind think that you're a winner. You're because you're having all that money come in, and when you cash a couple tournaments here and there, you just think you're a winning poker player. So it's refreshing to hear someone say that. I really appreciate you, because it's all about responsible gaming to me too. I always talk about sports betting now is taking over. All these kids think it's so easy to bet, so I always try to talk about that side. So it's healthy for people to hear about this side. Also, poker is so tough to make a living. Now with someone like Maria, we had her on the show. We've had top players. We have Helmuth on, Negreanu, Mattisau, but those guys are making livings. Of course, they're making healthy livings. Even Mike has said that he was in debt and he got out of debt finally. And if it wasn't for Phil helping him, he said he wouldn't. Okay. So is that still like Maria? Is she still playing poker for a living? Is that still her income? Is that still how? Even yourself, do you still making some income from poker?
Yeah. Well. At some point in poker these days, now that there's marketing involved, right? At some point when you're famous enough, now the money you make does not have to be reliant on like the last cash game session, right? Or last tournament, because there are deals. So like Maria had a deal, I want to say for like 5 to 7 years with like WinStar World Casino, where they're like, okay, we'll just give you this amount to come to one tournament a year and we can use your image for all the marketing that we want to do for this tournament. She also, she's now getting paid for like corporate coaching sessions. Anytime she does commentary. So the realistic way that you could maintain a career in poker, which is not available to everyone because you might not be as pretty as a Maria Ho or as famous as a Phil Hellmuth, but the realistic thing to do is to diversify your talents within poker and become a commentator, become a coach, become someone that can give some kind of value to promoting a casino. She's still, yes, I would say Maria still plays full time. She still plays, she now gets to pick and choose like what juicy cash session she wants to play. I mean, prior to COVID, she was traveling like 10 months out of the year playing live tournaments. But within that, like maybe 5 of the casinos said, okay, we'll pay for your airfare to come play and we'll pay for your hotel. So you'll cut down costs on that. So at some point when you become notable enough and people want you to be at their events, you're going to either find ways that you can kind of get buy-ins paid for or get other things paid for. But yes, I would say she's still for sure. But yeah, if someone's new coming up in poker, you can't really be like, I want to model my career after Phil Hellmuth or Maria Ho, because the echelon that they're at now is a money-making type tool, right? If you are only making your money from the last session or tournament that you played, then it's probably advisable that you have subtle income coming in elsewhere so that you can navigate, you know, those downswings and those losing sessions. And essentially for like myself or for Maria Ho, that subtle income that you can make, if you can run off one weekend and do a coaching session corporately and get paid, you know, $10,000, great. Then now I can kind of fade the last loss that I had.
Sure, you still have to pay your bills too, and you know, your income. So if you can get those kind of speaking engagements and stuff, that's great. And I didn't know that's what Maria was doing. Good for her. Good for her. What do you got there?
Everything. She really does everything.
Cool.
What I think is cool about your relationship with Maria is you were able to be friends first, then you worked for her, and then still friends. That's probably a weird dynamic, right? Like, does she ever slip up and like, hey, Tiff, if there's a takeout order I need picked up? No, she doesn't do that to you now.
It was a very weird, it takes 2 very special personalities to be able to work together. And I think it's twofold. I think, first of all, the unique thing was to be 2 women in poker, to be the back-to-back last woman standing, for her to, so in 2007, she was the last one standing. She took 38th. I literally did her Poker News interview where I was like, congratulations, Maria, you're the last woman standing. How does it feel? Blah, 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 blah. Right. I'm there in that moment. I think the day we actually met was the day that I like stood there and did her last woman standing interview. And then because we'd see each other on the circuit that next year, we'd be like, oh, are you going to this tournament? Do you want to share a hotel room together? Or we both lived in LA. So it was like, oh, let's go grab drinks. We kind of befriended each other for a year. And then the following year, I was the last one standing. And so at this point, we were like poker friends, acquaintances. And she actually busted the main, had flown home. And as I start making a deeper run in the main event, she flies back out from Los Angeles to stand on the rail and sweat me. So we have pictures of Maria like sweating me. And I think that that's pretty rare, you know. Yes, I just talked to someone about this. Like, yes, there's this idea that women should support other women in poker because there's so few of you. At the same time, that woman is your direct competition, not even at the poker table. If we're now talking about like marketing and endorsement deals and the attention that you get and how you can monetize the attention that you get in poker, then it's not good for you to have another woman, like another attractive-ish brunette, come in and do well and potentially supersede you in the rankings, right? Because like, that's the other person that you're going to be vying for an opportunity with. So Maria's in my relationship. So it was rare, I think, that she genuinely was rooting for me. And then we obviously the next year went on the Amazing Race together, which was just like, there's no other emotional, psychological experience you could have relationally with somebody that would bond you the way that did. So I think that then when it came to us, and I actually then had to deal with her kind of superseding my poker fame. Because then after the Amazing Race, she was playing more. She had a better bankroll to be able to play and has like family money that she could kind of fall back on. And so I think that she was definitely playing more. She definitely played more cash games. She was definitely playing more high stakes than I was. And I remember actually when the call came in that she was like, oh my God, I'm going to be on the cover of like Bluff magazine. Can you come help me at this photo shoot? And I for sure had to deal with like, it was twofold. It was like, I remember being her. I remember when I had my success and I was on magazine covers, but now here she is doing it. And there's like the tiniest bit of jealousy, but not for her, because it's like, well, I want to be doing that again. I remember how sexy and cool it is to have that kind of attention, but I was definitely able to like let our friendship and who she was to me and what that meant to me and my happiness for her mean more than the tiny bit of jealousy of like, I should be doing this. I could be on this cover right now type thing. But I realized like I had to do work to not let that like natural feeling of, I wish that was me, take over or taint my relationship with her. So I ended up just deciding, you know what, I've been in this position before. It's her turn. Maybe how I've dealt with this before can help her on her journey as she starts becoming more and more famous. And then in regards to like working as her assistant, I think it was both of our personalities. I I'm a detail person. I'm an organization person. I love managing things. I love being in control of a lot of little things. So I think I really thrived with that kind of work. And it just kind of felt like a bonus of like, Tiffany, you want to come to Hawaii with me? Do you want to come to like South Africa with me? Do you want to come to these cool places and your expenses are paid for and we get to hang out as friends and eat good food? And then you just do some work that's like easy to do for a friend. There was definitely some power dynamics, but I think that I have the capacity to humble myself and to deal with strong personalities that like need to have a big moment and need to be in charge. I'm not really threatened by that. So I think there's just a perfect marriage of like who and how she is and who and how I am. And I for sure was very understanding and more able with a strong personality like hers to like take it than maybe somebody else that had a strong personality would have clashed with that.
Nice. So Tiffany, what do you think about the future of poker now? We were talking before off air. I just don't see it on TV like I did 10, 15 years ago. You just don't see tournaments that are covered. They had all different networks that had it. What do you think? Is that what maybe sports betting has actually hurt that a little bit? Because sports betting is being talked about all the time, and they're trying to do some shows. It's on ESPN now. They have their own show dedicated to it. What do you think the future of poker is? Is it? Are we heading that I don't want to say downward spiral, but for lack of a better word, are we heading that way, or is there a shot for this poker to be a thing again?
That's a great question. I think that after the original poker boom, like we all rode that right, and we kind of saw that die off, and then everyone now has tried to figure out like, okay, is it streaming? Is it Poker Go? Is it esports? I mean, I think it's going to take going through a couple variations of what you can do with poker for it to get maybe back to a place that makes it interesting. But I think it will come back, but I don't think that's going to happen until sites and companies can really market in the US. Because if we look back in the heyday of when there was tons of poker programming and games on TV, I feel like that was because there was big sites that could market in the US that were putting their money behind these types of productions. But also too, I don't know, maybe especially after COVID, right? Like you'd think people are hungry for it. At the same time, the financial loss that so many people have taken over the last 2 years, like is poker and the high stakes of poker and the money being thrown out around like a thing that we want to sit and entertainment wise enjoy and watch when we kind of have that sick, like monetary loss feeling in our stomach? Maybe not, but I don't know. I think everything ebbs and flows. I guess we just haven't really figured out, like Poker Go's doing a lot of stuff, right? Like they're doing a lot of streaming and a lot of different types of content, but I'm personally like, I'm not very interested. I feel like so much of their content is really high stakes, and that's just not attainable for me or for the average poker viewer, right? You need to be able to think, I could do that, or I aspire to that, or I want to be that guy in order to feel like an emotional connection with the character you're watching on TV. And I feel like all the high stakes stuff they're doing isn't really attainable for the general public. I don't know. I think we have to get back to honestly, like the fun characters of poker, right? Like back when I started watching, it was Mike the Mouth Mattisau and, Phil the Procoret Hellmuth and Annie Duke, what a dick, right? Like they were characters on TV, and now poker's just becomes such a mathematical equation that's, void of so many of the emotions. Even like, this is so weird. I guess I didn't realize like it evolved this way. I was playing the World Series this year, and I think I mentioned something about my hand, or like, I've got a big one. And I literally had a guy call a floor over. He's like, you can't say that. I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't tell him what I have. He's like, no, you can't even say anything. And it was news to me that like it's now a thing where you literally cannot just disclose. It doesn't matter if I tell him the hand. It doesn't matter if I say I have a straight or not. You literally can't disclose anything, whether it's in regards to strength or weakness about your hand during a hand. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like the reason you love playing this game is to get into people's heads and to psych them out and to like talk about the hands. And so I don't know, we've tamed it so much that all of that fun of watching like those kinds of things unfold on TV are gone. I don't think poker's going anywhere. I just think there has to be some kind of new angle as to how you would market or show it on TV that's going to get people kind of interested again. Although it's always going to be niche. Like it's always going to be a niche industry. with all these poker TV shows that I'm involved in, or that people want to do a show about women in poker or whatnot, the problem is this is not a global phenomenon. Like, yes, people internationally are playing, but it is a niche industry like NASCAR, where there's going to be a ton of people like in this pocket that are fans of this thing. That's just never going to get bigger than that niche. So you have to stop trying to think about how can we get a bored housewife to watch poker. She's never going to watch poker. You have to understand your demographic, and your demographic is small, even if it is international.
Fantastic.
Tiffany, before we let you go, I want you to do me a favor. Okay. I need you to promise me something.
Okay. I'm not taking my top off.
No.
Oh. Wow. No. What history do you two guys have?
It's not like that.
What? She's talking about their X-rated first meetings, and she's taking her top off.
No, the promise I want you to make is you need to write a book. You 100% need to write a book. You're so honest,
so open.
I love even about like the dynamic of Maria's success. Maybe, passing yours and dealing with that and keeping your ego in check and all that. That's good. It's so inspirational, don't you think?
No, it really is. It's refreshing. Like I said before, it is to hear. Most poker players come on, and most people in general, they want to talk about their success, and I'm a pretty humble guy. So when I hear someone else come on and be this open and humble, it really makes me feel good. That's great. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing the show today. Travis, drop her social media right there. Yes, right there.
Oh. Perfect. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on. Look forward to having you on again.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the kudos and the boost. You just said it as you were leaving. It's taken me a long. There's so much poker face in poker, right? And there's so much fronting. And then when you're in it, you think that you need to look like what all the other things look like, and you need to keep up these appearances. And what'll it mean if you didn't make money this month? And I think just thank God, the older that you get, the more you realize like that's so stressful to maintain. And what people are actually probably going to respond to is your honesty and your authenticity. And like, guess what? If you think like the worst thing is saying like, I'm a loser and I did bad, like you'll be so shocked at how many people are actually losers and will say, oh my God, I like bond with you over that, compared to whatever this poker faces that you think you have to have on. So thank you for acknowledging. And I continue to need that like encouragement myself of like, no, be honest, be open.
You're relatable. You're relatable to the average public. You're relatable to the average poker player. Most poker players lose. I went out to dinner with a winning poker player the other night who I know wins. And he said to me, he goes, I think I'm at the top of the food chain in Vegas. I make about $100,000 a year, which is not a lot really, but for poker. But he's like, everyone thinks they win, the house wins. With the rake, the house wins, unless you win a big tournament or something. So it's refreshing to hear that someone, you're relatable to the public. They can relate to that, even though their ego doesn't want to make them admit that. You're relatable, and thank you for that.
Thanks, guys. What a good time I had with you.
Tiffany Michelle was amazing.
She's great.
Right?
Oh God!
She's just so honest and fresh,
Yeah. No, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope a site or someone picks her up, a bigger site that's out there, maybe a sports betting site. There's a lot of females in the space now. Tiffany would be a welcome bonus to that.
And she knows her sports, better than me, clearly, because we're in that best better competition, and she's ahead of me. Almost everyone's ahead of me.
Are you four? Are you
I'm
sitting
in fourth? I'm in fourth, I think.
Are you four and 19?
Yeah.
I think I told you off air. I'll tell you on air again. It's harder to go 4-19 than it is to go 19-4. So, congrats. Yeah.
Having some problems there, Bill.
Yeah.
I'm going to climb back in this thing, though. I'm coming back.
It's the reason why that people like myself, make money betting sports every year, because we need that kind of money in the market. We need that
right.
that kind of attitude. I'm due.
I'm due.
Right.
The law of averages.
Right. I want you to see a movie that Richard Dreyfuss says the same thing.
The best.
He says he's in the toilet stand and he says, "I'm due."
Let it ride, right?
He's on his knees at the toilet bowl.
You remember when you rat holed that fiver?
That five, right? Great movie. I'm sure you guys have seen it.
Great movie.
After March Madness, we'll do some favorite gambling movie segment.
Oh, that'd be fun. All right.
Good.
I should mention that this Friday, Bill, I'm doing my third annual Action Junkies 24-hour podcast.
Wow.
Right here in this room.
Very
I will be 24 hours straight raising some money this year for Project for Humanity.
Oh, nice.
For women that have been that are survivors of domestic violence, sex trafficking, and sex abuse. So
very cool.
Yeah, we're real excited about that. So
wow, you got some big guests coming on?
Yeah, we got some big ones. Russell Peters, we got Randall Emmett coming in studio.
Giant.
Yeah, we got some good ones. Hopefully Dana White.
Nice.
He's got a big fight that weekend, so it's terrible timing, but we'll see if we can get him. But
okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's do this again. You'll be back east.
I'll be back
next week,
east,
right?
Yep.
All right.
I'm leaving for a couple weeks, but I'll be back after March Madness.
All right, but I'll see you on
See you
Zoom
next
link
week
or whatever. All right.
Thanks for watching, guys.